Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to teach you 5 step over skills that you can use to beat defenders in a match. Just before we get into them, I want to say a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is where I built my website, 7mlctraining.com, and from websites to analytics to marketing tools, they're the all-in-one place to grow your online presence and manage your business. But let's get into the skills. So we're going to start things off with the classic step over. The step over is one of the most simple but effective moves you can use in a 1v1 situation. I'd put this very closely behind a body feint because essentially it is a variation of the body feint. If you haven't already seen my 5 body feints to master, I'll leave a link to that video on the screen right now because the theory is very similar for the step over. For a body feint, we're trying to keep our foot close to the ball behind it, plant our foot, dropping our knee, dropping our shoulder to make that defender unbalanced so we can push the ball in the opposite direction and get away. With the step over, we're doing a very similar action, but instead of going behind the ball, we're throwing our foot around the front of the ball, again, keeping it close, and then it's the exact same action. So we're planting our foot, bending our knee, dropping our shoulder, so we're in a position to accelerate, and then with the outside of the opposite foot, we're pushing it 45 degrees. Remember, all of these 1v1 moves are just to unbalance the defender. It really doesn't matter how you unbalance them because it's the acceleration after the move that actually takes you away from the defender. So this is just an idea for you to practice the step over, nudge the ball towards a cone or a mannequin and practice throwing your foot to one side, dropping the shoulder and then accelerating in the opposite direction. So here it is slowly, nudge, drop, push. And once you get confident with that, push, drop and accelerate. The next move is the double step over, and you might be thinking, well, isn't that just the single step over done twice? And you would be correct, but there is a slight difference between the first step over and the second that make this a really effective move. So we've already mastered the classic step over, throwing our foot around the ball, dropping the knee, dropping the shoulder and pushing the ball in the opposite direction. Now with this first step over, we're using this as almost a bit of a bait, and then that second step over is where we're going to really sell the move. So with our first step over, instead of really planting our knee and shoulder, we're just going to go lightly over the ball, staying light on our feet, and tap the ground slightly, and then with that second step over, that's where we're really going to sell it. So that's where it's going to be more like the classic. So that first one's to bait, second one's to commit, and then you push the ball 45 degrees. So let's practice this one slowly. So push the ball, light step over, heavy, and then push the ball 45 degrees. And once you get confident with it, increase the distance between you and the cone or the mannequin. And it's a push, little one, heavy, and off we go. The next variation is one I see Mbappe do very often. And what he does is he throws his foot around the ball, touches the ground for a split second, hops off that foot, and then pushes the ball in the same direction that he performed the step over. This one's effective because if you're performing the step over a lot, the defender's going to start to read it. So as you throw that foot around the ball, they're going to start to guess that you might go to the inside. So as you plant that foot again, they're going to take the space and you're going to push the ball in the opposite direction to where they're unbalanced. So he pushes the ball light and then push, but it's done at speed. So you really need to be light on your feet. And the key with this move is if you're on the balls of your feet and you keep the ball close, if the defender doesn't take the space, they don't bite on that bait, you can still take the ball in the opposite direction, just like a classic step over. So practice this one slowly. So it's a touch and push to the outside. And then as you get confident with it, go with a little bit more speed. This next move is a JJ Okocha special. So what he does is he performs a sole roll to a step over, but this time we're performing an inside step over. So this is a great body feint to use to convince the defender you're taking the ball across your body, and you step across it and bend your knee, bend your shoulder, the same way we would with a body feint to unbalance them and expose some space. So what we're doing here is we roll the ball and then immediately we step across. And the key is to keep your foot as close to the ball as possible to really make it seem like you're going to take the ball with the inside foot into this space here. So we roll the ball, narrowly miss it, and then step across, bending that knee, dropping the shoulder. The defender will hopefully take the bait and expose the space on the opposite side so you can take the ball and accelerate away. So the defender thinks we're going to perform this move, just a sole roll and push, but instead of that, at the very last second, we're going to step across the ball and push into the space here. So break it down slowly, make sure you master it before trying to increase the speed. So we roll, step across, push. And once you get confident with it, increase the speed. So push, step, and off we go. And the final move is my personal favorite. It's the step over combined with Lacretta. Two very simple movements pieced together. So first movement is the classic step over. So throwing a foot around the ball nice and close, planting our foot to drop the knee, drop the shoulder, making that defender lean to that one side. But what's different about this move compared to the others, even though the defender's taking the bait, we're still going to take the ball in that same side. So as the defender leans and they outstretch their foot, so if I just act as Jeff here, I perform the step over, so Jeff starts to lunge, trying to intercept that ball, their foot's extended, and now I'm going to perform the croqueta to take the ball around their foot. So as I plant, defender lunges, then it's another movement, dragging the ball across my body, keeping it in contact, taking it wide enough past their foot, and then exchanging to my opposite foot and using the inside to push it down the line. Then you'll be on the defender's weak side and you can accelerate away. So really effective move. So let's break it down slowly. So we push, step over, plant, and then take the ball, push down the line. Once we get confident with it, we can go a little quicker. So step, and off we go. So there we have it, 5 step over skills you can use in those 1v1 situations in a match. And just before I go, I want to say another huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is where I built my very own website, 7mlctraining.com, and it's become the central hub of my entire brand, allows me to put everything 7mlc training related in one place, from my blog post to my podcast, as well as my very own 7-day training programs. And if you want more exercises to work on your footwork to help you in those 1v1 situations, I recommend checking out Maestro and Maestro 2.0. I'll leave links to those in the description box down below. But if you've ever considered building a website, you don't know where to start, check out Squarespace, and if you use the link in my description, www.squarespace.com/7mlc, you can get 10% off your first website. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash the like button, hit that subscribe button for weekly training videos, and I will see you guys in my next video.